All right. Post intermission first talker here. So this is gonna be exciting. And yeah, with this stage and light, eh, haven't even started yet. Don't even know what I'm doing. Yeah, with this stage and light, it feels like a stand-up comedy show here. Hopefully we don't go that way and don't get too involved with the audience, but a few questions are coming your way. So I think I'll introduce myself quickly. There's another slide. But yeah, my name is Andrew Pierce. Obviously, as you can see in this photo here, I lead our product efforts at ExtendOps. So that means I work real closely with our engineering, design, and product team to make the AI part or the AI BPO a reality. Big shout out to the engineers and designers who are scattered all over, and a big shout out to Chris Ellis, who kind of leading the engineering efforts. I just want to give them a little love if they see this later. Um, but yeah, I'm here today to talk a little bit about the AI side of the AI BPO. So to go to the next slide, ultimately we believe is AI is here and it needs people. In same way, we believe that people need AI. So what does that look like at ExtendUps? Ultimately, AI is coming out very strong, and whether you believe in the hype or you think there's a market crash coming, it's here and it is going to impact our lives in a significant way and disrupt this industry in a big way. And we feel like we're uniquely positioned to capture that and go after that within our platform. Oh, perfect. So a couple stories to get into before we get started here. And this is where I'm going to get the audience a little bit involved. Ultimately, this first pitch here, I'm talking through a couple stories where one of our biggest CX leaders was at a conference and they asked this question, which was like, who here is using testing out AI within your company or like business, right? And they raise their hands. So maybe if people can raise their hands of who's testing out AI, somewhere in their business. A few, not as many as I'd expect. Then the follow up question was like, who's using AI in production with customers? And at that point, majority of their hands went down, and our customer was left with like her hand standing in that place. On a personal, anecdotal side of things, I was at an AI engineering conference with brought in some of our engineers from the UK over there, and we were going around to different speakers and presentations, and it was crazy because one is very validating of the challenges and opportunities that we were facing from an engineering point of view, but it was also shocking. No one was really talking about customers. It was all very theoretical, hypothetical, where we could be. And then the last one there was I think that's in Puerto Vallarta, beautiful office there, talking to Warby Parker about what we have to offer from an AI BPO side of things. I think they're one of our earlier pitches in as we were kind of developing who we are as a brand. And they were just relieved with what we were coming to them. As Warby, as they are, they get hit up by everyone, as I think we'll be hearing a little bit more about later today. And they were just really relieved by the way that we were presenting ourselves and bringing AI to them as a company. So um, the what's going on ultimately is, and Sean alluded to this earlier, there's like a trust problem within AI. So in these scenarios, I think this is my version of the tech bro. This is from a real photo from CCW. I think the back of the shirt says ask me how to replace agents, or we replace agents with AI. And it's sure, being controversial intentionally to get a little engagement. That's cool, but a little bit toned up for the audience and the people here, because I think all the CX leaders in the space have heard that countless times, and probably don't want to, they'll see it when they believe it. And also, there's a reason today that a lot of their use cases aren't automated already. With chatbots and all that stuff, a lot of that easy, low-hanging fruit should be already automated. And if it's not, there's probably a good reason for it. Also, in the middle, as like a CX leader in the industry here, resources hard to come by. So, and if you want to experiment with how AI can impact your CX operations, you're debating against core product for the company that you work for. And it's always hard to get those resources. I know from kind of my background, working in different tech companies, the biggest challenge is always getting access, getting engineers to kind of move away from your core product to help out with different situations. And then lastly, AI news is changing ever rapidly, depending on the day. It's like a roller coaster. Yeah, like, are we all out of jobs? Is this all fake? Is the market going to pop? Whatever it is, it leaves you kind of stuck being like, hey, what is reality? And so that's where we're working to gain your trust within AI, and that's where we're coming in with our XOAI. So this is our platform to build, manage, and monitor smart agents. And within this platform, as we were kind of developing this out, this is the hub, the home where we would bring in our employees to build and manage smart agents that we deploy for our customers. As we developed this and built this out, there's a couple key features and core tenets that we try to hold to throughout this. One of them is don't get attached, and then the other one being make it easy. So when we were first starting this out with some of our earlier pilots, I'm in there modifying JSON, totally high bar to enter to get this going for these earlier pilots to see if we had that market fit. But as we evolve the product, our goal is how do we lower this bar as fast as possible? Because we know in the future we want this spread across our entire company, every department, every customer that we have, and empowering our teams to be able to do the same work that we were doing. So make it easy to manage and build these things as we get going. And the other one is don't get attached, meaning don't get attached to one specific LLM model, don't get attached to one different provider, being very agnostic to the marketplace of what's out there, because to the point of news and all that kind of stuff that's happening there, it's shifting every day. So we are able to adapt to kind of your use cases and the market on that. And AI is changing super quick too. So if depending on different releases, we're willing to completely put away different parts of our product because of a new advancement or new release out there. And that leaves us continuing to do the same thing, which is building and managing these CX specific AI agents for our customers. So if we go to the next slide, what's a smart agent? I know you heard Sean talk about that a little bit, but these are modular AI agents that we built for a wide variety of CX use cases. Within these steps, you can kind of look at a little bit there. That's the builder itself. So this is where either myself, our team, or different employees are going in and managing these AI agents for their use cases. And at its core, it's just like I said, you can kind of think of building blocks or Legos or something like that, where we have different step types. We have our LLM step types. Again, these are very agnostic across the entire AI foundational model ecosystem. We have our knowledge steps, so we can go out and retrieve various macros, SOPs, whatever it is that you have that you want to incorporate into your smart agent. And then we have our REST steps, so we can go out to external systems, whether it's a CRM, whether that's some other database or a location that has data that we want to incorporate into that, we can incorporate there. And then lastly, we have our router steps and a couple other ones that really help blend this all together. So within the platform, we're able to kind of architect out these solutions and build and put them together in the right way to have your conversations, the use cases flow through our system and get back to the source where it's needed, whether that's in the agent's hands, whether that's an automation in your distant CRM. It all kind of starts within this builder for the team. So on the next slide here, you're probably saying, cool, Drew, that was a lot of charts and a flow chart. How do I get started? And this kind of comes back to what Sean was talking earlier about the Copilot and voice of the customer. If you are ahead of the curve a little bit and have ideas of where you think AI can plug in to your system, we're able to go custom straight forward. I was just, I think Tracy, right before I came up here, was like, hey, I have a new idea. So, we'll pursue that and look at how we can kind of architect out that solution for them. But if you're left there being like, hey, I'm getting pressure, do more with less, I hear all this news, how can I get started? This is where we really recommend that Copilot and voice the customer. So what does Copilot look like for them? We have some templated smart agents that we can use within Copilot for the different modals that our agents use today. And our goal is really from the get-go, how do we plug into your systems, become the best BPO, best team that you have in your ecosystem of vendors, so that we can continue to win ultimately. And so what happens there, and that's kind of the experience on the right, is that application would be embedded into the CRM or system that our agents use today to deliver our services for your team. And what's happening under the hood is it's going through that builder, those different steps that we set up for them, in a kind of optimized way for your specific Copilot. And then the agent, based on maybe an email or a chat message, is getting presented with that response that they want. And then they're empowered or encouraged to edit it if they need to. And for us, under the hood, we're continually looking at that feedback, and that continues to feed the smart agent to get better over time. And we also empower them with a couple of features there at the top. So we have a very dynamic, like, kind of context field there. So the way top right there is just a summary of the use case. But you can also, we have the power and control to kind of put anything up there that's relevant for the use case. It can be order details that isn't already in your CRM for whatever reason. It can be like status updates on their account. And then lastly, at the bottom there, we have these like quick actions, we call them. So the agent can be empowered to do things that maybe you as a customer don't feel comfortable automating yet. But whether it's like cancel an order or book a new appointment, we can, through different integrations and AI, empower the agent to first be aware of those tools, do those actions kind of independently, and then over time, we're able to progress more towards that automation ultimately, eventually. So within this platform, that Copilot, our goal, right, is to ultimately win first across your vendor suite and make our agents the best agents that you have. And then from a CX leader point of view, and Mike kind of hints at this as well, we have that voice of the customer. So these two things in tandem feed off each other. So as we use Copilot within our customer base and we're collecting different conversations, we're able to then analyze that. And if you've used Grok lately or Perplexity and you're asking these questions, and it kind of comes back with this executive summary, that's exactly what we're doing ultimately with your conversations and your customers as well. So trying to give you an ability to find, the needle within the needle that you needle haystack that you specifically want, so that you can then share that within your org, as opposed to, scrolling through a bunch of spreadsheets or whatever you do today to find out different relevant information. But all these two things together give us a good opportunity to get into monitoring. So a real key piece of this for anyone out here is, all right, how do we know it's doing what we need it to do, and how do we make sure we're confident with it? That's where we add in both like a passive and a very active monitoring system as well throughout this. So passive monitoring, that means every message that we generate from an AI point of view, we're grading that against like the final response that's sent it for them, and that becomes a very core metric that our team is optimizing for within the smart agent experiences. And then from the active monitoring as well, we have ability to kind of cordon off different parts of their messages that are generated and get our existing QA team or existing team leads or whoever it is who's most knowledgeable about that use case into our platform, reviewing those messages, providing that feedback, which then our team comes in and bundles that up into further improvements. So with that, we are able to hopefully, in with you, gain that confidence, that trust in the AI's performance, and that leads us into more automation opportunities that we can pursue with you. So we're deployed and kicking butt ultimately. So where does that go next? And that's where I'm only telling half the story, and I'd love to invite up magnificent, marvelous Mel. She told me to say that ultimately, so thank you.
Thank you, Drew. Dashing, divine Drew. Alliteration. All right, I'm gonna go start introducing myself very quickly. So my name is Mel Banico. I'm the VP for People and Culture in Extend Ops. It sounds fancy, but it simply is. It just means that I have this incredible job of finding, supporting, developing the people that we have in the organization, and that's what makes EXO what it is. I take care of everything from hiring top talent to shaping a culture where people feel valued, supported, and excited to do their best work. At the end of the day, like we've been talking about AI and technology and everything that has evolved over the years. But at the end of the day, the core of what we do are the people that we have. Sean mentioned earlier about Klarna doing a 180 and we're like, oh, wait, we need people, right? It's people that we have to think of in evolving and making this business even better. Interestingly, I'm going to talk about my BPO journey. So I've spent the last 20 years of my career in the BPO space. And I know that kind of ages me. Um, but the bright side of that is I've had the front seat row of how this industry has grown, adapted, and transformed over the years. The support landscape has evolved. I remember 2005 was when I started in the VPO space, and one of the biggest like head count in the organization that I work with was directory assistants. Like literally pick up the phone. I need the number for the nearest, I don't know, McDonald's or something, and that kind of support system or support type of service no longer exists in the BPO space, right? The very first call that I took was actually a password reset. Like, do you still call in to reset a password? I don't think so, right? So it's interesting how much a lot of that landscape has changed over the years. Um, so over time, we've shifted towards handling more complex customer issues. Um, Doc earlier talked a really good sense into it. So like we started with like directory assistance, password resets, very basic customer inquiries. But now, fast forward to 2025, we take care of telemedicine, we take care of accounting, payroll. We do complex customer concerns and do retention and boost sales over time. And it's crazy to think how much of that has changed over the last couple decades in the BPO space. And Philippines has still maintained that being the world class driver of BPO business in the world next to India. And when we think of the BPO space, we think about this industry being always at the crossroads of innovation, right? It's constantly navigating that the balance between technology and human expertise. And I'm talking about I've witnessed over time how we tried to lessen customer contact. I've seen the rollout of IVR systems, right? Press one if you want to talk to this person, press two. I've seen the advent of chatbots. I've seen web forms where you can send me an email and then we'll go call you or you're going to get an email back, right? And all of those functions, all of those support services available has been nothing but volume deflection, really. And what that has done is it takes out that human touch, right? And if you're a customer, that can get quite frustrating. Like for most parts, likely you would be, I want to talk to a real human being. I don't want to speak to a chatbot. I'd rather want to talk to somebody who understands what I'm trying to say and would want to do that. Now, with all of this like the evolution of what we're doing, IVR systems, chatbots, and now we're in the era of AI. The question that would spark the most across everybody who works in the BPO space is, will this new technology replace me? And that is a very fair question. Me, who started from taking customer interactions, if I'm doing that now, I would likely have the same question, right? And in doing so, I feel, and I'm a little bit biased here, that that is what set XOAI apart from all other AI solutions. And I say that because I've witnessed it myself. Our product and engineering team has worked hand in hand with our frontline team, who is now called, and I'm going to talk about like the new CX team that we have there, who works hand in hand with these people who actually directly talk to the customers, right? we refer to them, the naming convention has changed. We've called them agents, we've called them customer service representatives, we've called them frontline team. But at the end of the day, these are the people who actually talk to our customers. And because they do that, they have the first-hand information, they have the business intelligence, they're the eyes and the ears of what we should know and hear and understand from our customers. I remember the tech bro person here earlier that Shauna shared with us. Like, if you go in and tell your frontline teams, hey, start using AI, what do you think the response would be? Two things. They would likely do it because they have to, or they would do it, but they'd be like, what value does it bring to me as a frontline agent or as a frontline support person? The difference that XOAI has brought in is our frontline teams, our support service teams, are the very same people who designed, developed, gave feedback, and implemented the whole XOAI framework. And because of that, we are very confident that the evolution of the technology always has that human touch, has that human expertise, and has that human emotion. And I could talk for days about it, but we did talk to our frontline teams, and I'm going to show you a quick video of what they had to say. I'm going to step to the side real quickly.
My name is Lance Maverick Hover.
My name is Jaro Recamonte.
My name is Fritz Joshua Fernandez. I'm currently working at Warby Parker.
The main one that we usually use is XO Smart Agent.
That is empowered by AI and launched by the XO company.
We use the Smart Agent every shift, in every chat, in every SMS.
We are just waiting to the AI generate the responses for us. What we are just doing is just to review it, to make sure the accuracy of it, and then simply send it.
We can just let the AI provide those simple tasks and then we do the crucial things instead.
Everything on the quick action, it can be done using the tip of my finger.
Even though AI helps us, still needs to have a person to make sure it is accurate.
There are some errors or there are problems with the AI itself, but as time goes by, our technician was able to address those issues.
Other feedbacks that I wanted to have the AI to memorize all the information that we provide to the customer, it's because that it's more of an improvement. We know that AI improves every day, so if the AI has those memories, the AI can already know what to do on their next step.
If you are looking for growth, XtendOps is the place to be.
Awesome. So you heard it from Lance, you heard it from Fritz, and this is how we're going to structure our new teams. We are no longer the traditional old school BPO where you have the agent and you have the team lead. We now have an AI ops lead and we now have CX architects who would make sure that happens. And I'm going to bring to the stage Greg Rakozy and Mark Stabin. This is the exact team who took care and handled the implementation of our XOAI for Warby Parker. Thank you.
Hey folks, I'm Greg Rakozy. I'm a senior solutions consultant at XtendOps, and what I do at this in this role is I help our partners solve complicated problems like implementing AI into their customer experience. So I'm really excited to be here with Mark. We've been working together for the last few months, implementing a smart agent called Copilot into our service delivery.
Awesome. Thanks, Greg. Yeah, great to meet everybody. My name is Mark Stabin, Senior Manager of Customer Experience at Warby Parker. And yeah, I've been working with Greg on the XO Smart Agent for the past couple of months. It's been a great experience. A little bit about me. I've been with Warby Parker for a while on our customer experience team. So I've actually been with the company for 10 years as of this month. And I've been on customer experience this entire time. So I've worked actually starting out as an agent on the team, moved through some managerial roles, worked in hiring, and now work with our kind of partnerships like XtendOps to continue scaling our team, make sure we're continuing to deliver best-in-class service across all of our levels of business with all of our agents across the Philippines, Mexico, and the U.S. where we're based.
Awesome. So in that quick little video, you got
a little bit of an insight as to what the agents are doing. I think this, to set the stage, what makes Warby Parker's customer experience unique and stand, apart from the rest of the brands that are in the industry?
Yeah, so as I've mentioned, since I started Warby Parker, we've done things a little bit differently than a lot of other call centers. We really like to make sure that our interactions with our customers are personal, that they feel really casual, that it feels really like you're just talking to a friend who's also helping you figure out your glasses order whenever you call into Warby Parker. And that's been the case since day one. So we actually don't like script anything for our agents. We of course like provide them a lot of parameters that they need to work with, provide them policies that we need to work inside of, but otherwise want them to be themselves with customers. When somebody calls into Warby Parker, we're like that our agents can kind of bring their personality into it and kind of make that conversation with the customer feel just really tailored to that interaction, and can like even laugh or joke around with them. We have like a lot of core values, and one of them is to inject fun and quirkiness into everything that you do as kind of part of our brand. And we like our agents to do that too. And so that's something that kind of does set our customer experience apart. It actually kind of freaks agents out a little bit when they first start with us, when we're just like, hey, yeah, like these are the rules, just go talk to the customer. And they're like, wait, what am I supposed to say in this situation? We're like, you can just kind of be yourself. But after time, people get really confident in it, and it really allows people to just kind of like take ownership of the interactions that they're handling with customers, feel like they have a kind of stake in being a team member of Warby Parker. And I think it also sets us apart as a business as well. Something else that we do is we do kind of like train some of our agents in specific areas of our business, but we also empower our agents to handle any interaction that comes across their table or their desk. So if a customer's calling in about anything, be it like they need styling advice before they place an order for glasses or contacts, or if they already placed their order and they need help, or they received it and they need help, our agents can handle any of that. So you get on the phone with somebody at Warby Parker, you're going to be done at the end of that phone call and have all of your situation handled. And so we do provide some pretty robust training for our team members to be able to do this. So we go through a training program to teach them all about how to manage our systems at Warby Parker, all about our products, so that they are empowered to be able to handle any interaction that comes their way. I think that that's been something that has made our customers really enjoy working with us, not just the online experience of getting your glasses placed, but every time you talk to Warby Parker, if you have to, it's a pleasant experience with somebody who is a person who can be really unique with you and can connect with you on a personal level. And I think that I might be a little bit biased, but I think that sets us apart. It makes us one of the best CX teams out there.
That's awesome. So you mentioned one thing, no scripts. A lot of AI solutions, off the shelf, kind of have this like one size fits all model. How does the XO AI approach, this bespoke approach, really change that for you?
Yeah, so the thing that's great about the XO AI approach and the bespoke approach is that it goes through our agents. So like you just saw like Lance and Fritz and everybody up there on the screen, those guys all went through that same training that I was just talking about. And so those are the ones who are controlling how this AI works with our customers. So I was actually just in Iloilo for a couple of days with this team and was able to like sit with Fritz for a little bit and watch as he worked with a customer via chat, a couple customers via chat, and how he used the tool. And so it's really great that like the tool was, going through the conversation along with Fritz, prompting him with some responses and things that could help him out. But Fritz is ultimately the one who is deciding how we communicate with this customer. So it's not necessarily like the AI tool just like interacting with our customers immediately. Instead, it's going through somebody that we've brought up, that we've kind of taught all the Warby Parker values, how we communicate our voice and tone. And then Fritz is also teaching the AI tool how to communicate that way, how to be that way. And so he's seeing messages. He's like, that one's spot on. I'm going to use it. I'm going to communicate with the customer. He'll see something like, that one's not quite as right. And he'll give that feedback to the agent. And yeah, we've seen, as I worked with Greg on it, that as they continue to give that feedback, the tool just gets better and better at being a Warby Parker agent. And so, yeah, that's what I think is really great about it, is that it's just coming through our people. And so, as I was just kind of saying, our people is what makes our CX unique. And so I want any tool that we use to be with those people and to be driven by those people and kind of like built by them too. So that's something that I think has just been great about the XO AI agent. And it's really cool to see in action over the past couple of days.
Yeah, I think that's a great example you shared there. One other thing too is the brand voice. This is very unique to Warby Parker. And I think when we refer to human in the loop, we were really referring to the agent in the loop. The agent is the expert, the subject matter expert in this. So you mentioned, sometimes shadowing Fritz, you'll see an example where it suggests, let's reply that's spot on. Fritz can just edit it to be a little bit more tailored towards his personality and more of a conversational style. What other examples have you seen in the last few days that you were shadowing them?
Yeah, so I think some stuff that was cool to see is that they can inject their personality into it. They can take anything that the XO agent is creating and then edit it. But I mean, the other thing that was cool, I mean, of course, I'm all about people being, themselves, being unique, being personable. But we also understand that our CX can be complicated too if we do kind of coach them on every single thing that you can interact with the customer. And so the tool was also like helping them out. Like we have a lot of different resources that the team can use in order to like figure out how to follow certain steps on an order if they need to do a complicated exchange or something like that. But if the tool has already kind of been through that, it can kind of prompt them with that stuff quickly so that they don't have to like go to different screens and do different things like that. And so I think it kind of allowed Fritz and the team members that I was with to focus more on being themselves, like kind of focus more on that personality. They're not spending all of their time like trying to dig through resources and find the right answer for a customer. If the tool kind of can learn it and can prompt them with the correct answer, they can then use it and then make that conversation personable with the customer, not spend all their time trying to find the answer.
It's cool. Now let's talk about your inbox. You're probably getting lots of these sales emails about our AI can do whatever and all of this. What's been your experience with some of these other AI solutions and compare and contrast with XO AI?
Yeah. So, I mean, like Mike was saying earlier, anytime you're working in a CX team, if you've got it on your LinkedIn profile that you're a manager in some kind of way, they are going to be reaching out to you about all their different solutions that they've got. And so there's tons of them out there. For Warby Parker, we are a healthcare brand, a fashion brand. We also consider ourselves like, a tech company too. We want to be able to be at the cutting edge of tech. You can kind of see it in some of the products that we offer, like our virtual vision test, where you can get your eyeglass prescription renewed online so you don't have to go to a doctor. We use AI in a few other ways too. Like if you have our Warby Parker app available for iOS and Android, check it out. You can see the virtual try-on tool, which is something that you can like try on glasses with your phone and like it matches to your face. And we use AI to like kind of allow that technology to like know what all of our frames are. We plug it in and the customers can use it. And so we understand that like technology and AI is something that we want to work with. We want to understand it. We want to be on the cutting edge of things, but we're cautious about it too. And so like a lot of the times when we're receiving all of these different pitches on AI and like how it can improve our customer experience, how it can either like, make our customer experience faster. You can reduce your AHT. You can like hire so many less agents if you just throw this robot at your customers and stuff like that. We're pretty cautious about that. We take a lot of time to like research a tool before we let it interact with our customers. And so that's one of the things we liked about the Smart Agent is that like, yeah, it is currently, I would say, in production interacting with our customers. So our agents are using it, but it's got this gatekeeper of our agents, which I really like. Makes me feel comfortable at the end of the day that like there's not some tool out there that's going rogue telling customers stuff that isn't part of our policies or isn't part of our voice and tone and brand. And that it instead is going through an agent that we trust, that we review their work, that we provide them the feedback and make sure that they're a great agent with Warby Parker, and that the tool is really just like helping them to be that agent as well.
That's awesome. Like one thing to touch on is the trust. In our journey to automation, we have a crawl, walk, run approach, having a human in the loop. Any comments you want to share on that? Being part of Warby, you've been there 10 years now. Like you've seen a lot happen in this industry. Yeah, what comments do you have to share about that?
Yeah, no, I was thinking about that as Sean was talking about trust earlier and just kind of how that's a really big part for us. We are pretty particular when it comes to our customer experience. We want to make sure we do consider it as something that sets us apart as a brand. And so when it comes to anything that's going to alter our customer experience or like change it in any kind of way, we do want to make sure that we trust it. So that's what's been something that I've enjoyed about this process is, we sync regularly. We kind of talk through the updates. I have direct connection like with these agents. Like my quality team has direct connection with these agents. And we can make sure that like we have feedback for them if they have feedback for us. And then the same thing that I think you guys do is that like they have a direct connection to you, like on a Slack channel. And they're like, Greg, awesome response from the AI agent right here. Like this one did a great job. And like, oh, this was something that I just noticed. And so getting to see that kind of collaboration, having that open door kind of policy that we have helps build my trust. And especially because I can kind of like go see the tool, anything that is like coming out of it is information that I have access to. It makes me just know that like we're still going to be able to maintain that same customer experience that we've been providing for a long time. And it's just going to be something that is accompanied by this tool and not necessarily changed by it.
That's awesome. One thing to note too is like our Tiger team are tenured agents. They're the best that we can provide. And they do provide that feedback as much as they can in our feedback loops. I think one thing to note too is Lance actually suggested a product feature for us. And that's a cool aspect of like they have a direct line to product. They can talk to me and Drew and say, hey, can we do this? This will help us improve our process or be more efficient. What do you think about that? Like it's completely different than I've been the tech bro. I'm sorry to admit it, but I've tried to force people into a box, and like Sean, it bugs me. I want to meet someone where they're at in their tech stack and their customer experience. So what does it mean to have an agent suggest a product feature and then within a matter of a month have it implemented into production?
Yeah, it's something I love to see. I mean, I think Mike's talked about it earlier, and I have the exact same philosophy that if you've got a good employee experience, then you're going to have a good customer experience too. So if you have employees that are engaged and are happy at their job and like feel like the stuff that they're working on means something and that they're contributing to something, I think it really goes a long way to making them do a great job as well. And that was something that I saw with the team was that like, yeah, not only are they doing customer service with Warby Parker, getting that autonomy that we give all of our agents, but they're also like helping build this tool and like seeing the results of it that are happening as they're working with it and as they're providing feedback, seeing it improve, like getting to be a part of like making a new tool for Warby Parker. And that was super engaging for them. I think that it just made their jobs that much more fulfilling. Makes it so that they're like, yeah, I want to come to work. I want to continue working on this thing instead of, maybe just falling into monotony of interaction after interaction. You've kind of got this other piece to your job that makes it more engaging. And they told me that directly, that they're just like, yeah, it's really cool to get to work on this tool, to get to like kind of provide something to not just our customers, but to Warby Parker and to Extend Ops. And yeah, getting to work like directly with the product team is something that is, not an experience that a lot of other agents get. And so I think it definitely adds to making it a exciting work environment, and then makes it so that they're, ready and happy and excited to take interactions from our customers.
And lastly, what excites you about the future? We're implementing this with, we've got 5 agents right now. If we scale this out to the entire team, what excites you? What's the future look like?
Yeah, I mean, it's super exciting just to be a part of a company that embraces technology like this, but also has been like, again, my bias might be shown, but setting kind of a standard for like how like we communicate with customers. And so I think it's really cool that we get to continue to deliver a great experience from our brand, but also get to like be on the forefront of like what the next step of CX is going to look like. And I very much agree with the Extend Mouse mindset that it is like people have to be included. The personalities that come to our like agents, that come to our interactions, that make it in like a special and unique interaction to interact with Warby Parker is all about the people. And like, yeah, we can use tools to like make our people more efficient, make it so that like less mistakes happen and things like that. But being able to like have our people be a part of the process in scaling these technologies and scaling CX business is super exciting. And I think it's going to continue to be that way as well. I think that if you want to have this personalized CX, you really got to have people involved in it who are working alongside new technology. And that is really exciting to me, that we just get to be a part of it. We get to see how it works. And I do expect it's going to change a lot in the next like 5 years. But I do think that the human interaction is going to be kind of at the core of what really makes good customer experience.
Thanks for joining us today, Mark.
Yeah, absolutely. It's been super fun. Thank you guys.
Well, in our networking event, if you have any questions, feel free to find us. I'm hard to miss. I'm sunburnt like a lobster, but yeah, curious to see what questions you have, and yeah, excited for the future here.
Yeah, I could talk CX all day, so come find me and be happy to chat.
Thank you.
Thank you.